Yeah, so Windows 10, everyone. Happy Windows 10 day. No, Windows 11.
And apparently,
Yeah,
yeah. Who knows?
that's what that conversation was. And hello and welcome to another fine episode of Who's That Anime? With your host Steve and myself, Colin. That's me. Me.
Hello.
See, you can see my name underneath my picture. If you're watching it.
Mine is definitely there. Mine's definitely there as well.
Mhm.
I am hiding it at the moment underneath a big picture of me.
Yes, underneath the picture.
So
Uh,
where I keep a big picture of me around just in case.
yeah, you're one of these guys that just have like a picture of you in front of your video camera, uh, as you
I'm
have
very vain.
as you have a cup of coffee in the background and lounge about in your underpants.
It is, I think, one of my dreams in life, and I say this with the deepest of sincerity. Um, have you ever watched Airplane?
Yes, watched them both.
So, Lloyd Bridges in that movie
Hmm.
uh, stands behind a desk smoking a cigarette, and behind him there is a painting of Lloyd Bridges standing behind a desk smoking a cigarette. And I feel like it is probably one of my life's ambitions for me is to make sure at some point in my life that I'm able to create a painting of myself that goes behind the environment that I'm in, of that environment with me in it, so that I can stand in front of it and do that.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily need to be a cigarette or anything like that. Smoking
No, I could do anything.
cigar.
I could be having a beer, or I don't know, maybe a cigar. Could be anything.
Yeah,
Could be pretty good.
you can stick it right there in your Zelda picture frame.
I know. I do like that picture of Zelda though, right next to Mondo Cool.
Mono cool. Could be you, and
I do
you
actually.
can have a
This
logo.
this fan, this fan that's in the background, I am just going to turn on right now.
Uh-oh, it's got a fan.
Thank fuck for RTX, eh?
Yeah, the RTX voice. It's pretty good. You can't actually see
But yeah,
the
I
fan in the video, but there's a fan. I can see the fan, and it is now spinning.
it is my biggest fan.
It's your only only fan.
No, that's not true. I have that Kirby fan that you got me in my cupboard as well.
He does. He does have a fan. He has two
That when I
fans.
go back to the office, when I eventually go back to work, I will take with me.
Yeah, that's it. That's time stopping this to lockdown period time.
Getting there.
Yeah, we are. We are. Anyway, so it's once again, so who's that anime? Who's your anime?
Who's your anime?
Who's your anime? Anyway, and we're here to talk about the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Uh, and we're on to season two. Like to point out, just the disclaimer: we are not watching it in broadcast order. No, we are watching it in broadcast order,
No,
but not the
we,
chronological order. That's it.
nope. Yeah, we are not watching it in chronological order. We are watching it in the broadcast order, which has had both benefit and disappointment.
Yeah, yeah. So that's just our disclaimer for the moment.
Just in case you're wondering what the hell we're talking about and why we're referring to things that might not have happened yet otherwise.
Yeah, and so uh, we're finally on to the endless eight um episodes,
We are.
which
These are infamous
these are the ones.
in not only the Haruhi Suzumiya community, but I think generally within anime fans, these episodes are infamous.
They get pretty bad, yeah. I mean, I watched watched the first two, which we're going to talk about in this episode, and I've watched the second two, which will be talked in the next episode. Or we could probably
Yeah.
condense it all into one. If we watched all eight, and we could probably just talk about it all in one. So
I think that's so much more fun if we do it in a more torturous fashion. So
you're a cruel man to our listeners.
I no, I'm a cruel man to us. I
Yeah.
think to the listeners this could be quite funny. Watching two people slowly breaking down. Be like that podcast where I think every week for a year they watched Grown Ups 2
Oh yeah,
and talked about it.
yeah, yeah,
I believe the podcast was called The Worst Idea Ever or something like that.
yeah, and I remember that. I remember. I didn't listen to it, but I remember of it and heard of it. These guys just broke it down every week, and it was like
Like,
it's always something new they found, a while or something. Or
what would you have left to give as a human at that point? Saying it's like, well, another week and another time I can put on my great achievements list in life that I've watched Grown Ups 2 again.
52 times.
That like I think they did that and then they did Sex in the City too. So
Oh Jesus, why those movies?
I think generally because they're not very well critically lauded. So
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think they're particularly good.
well, I guess you don't want to destroy any love you have of a film you actually like.
Well,
So,
that's true. That's true. Um, but no,
but
no, this isn't going to be as bad as that. So, shall we?
no,
Shall we get on with it and lay down the foundations of the endless 8 episodes?
yeah, yeah. Let's yeah.
So, endless.
So the first, this is Endless 8, Part 1.
Yeah. So this is the first episode, and we know nothing.
It's the 17th of August, I know that.
Yep. It starts on the 17th of August. Keown is watching a baseball game, and he is essentially not bothered about it, and he's rooting for the underdog because he feels like that's his thing to do.
Yeah,
What
he does like to root for the underdog.
lounging on the couch, watching it in his shirt and shorts or something.
That's a thing that normal people say about people.
Yeah. Uh, and then it seems quite hot in the day.
Yep.
Gets a phone call from Harry. Basically tell him to get his swim shorts. And meet him in front of the station.
You should say as well is that it's the typically abrupt Haruhi type phone call where she phones asking a question. She already knows that she doesn't care whether the answer is yes or no because she's going to get what she wants. So the question is, hey, you're not busy, are you? Which she does not give him time to answer.
No. You're not busy, are you? Good. Get your swim shorts and meet us here. And then she instantly phones back and goes, "Oh, I forgot to say, get your bike.
Yep.
Bring your bike."
Yeah. Kyone's reaction to that is priceless because it's just like the phone call's over and he just goes, no.
No. Yeah.
In his head, it's just no.
No.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. We should also mention he's watching TV with his little sister. That is kind of
Yeah,
cute.
she's there too.
She didn't say anything though.
No.
So yeah, he then goes and meets them in front of the station, and she screams a penalty. You're late. And he goes, "I'm 15 minutes early. What you all doing here?"
I do enjoy Kyun's sort of repeated consternation at the fact that he is both trying harder every single time to be not the last one there,
Yeah.
but never successful. And as a result, of course, those of you familiar with this already, the penalty that Harry's shouting about is that he has to pay for their next food.
Yeah. Lunch, I think it was.
Lunch. Yeah.
Yep. And essentially what happens is they got to carry the girls to him and Kiyoshi. Kiyoshi? What's his name?
Koisame?
Koizumi. Yeah. Get to carry the girls to the swimming pool because no one else has bikes except for them two.
Just those two, yeah. And we should point out as well, yeah, as Kyon has to carry two extra people on his bike.
In this one, yeah.
Two.
Yep.
Two people.
Two, yep. Hurry and
Like that cannot be easy.
well, I don't know. Nagito can't weigh anything. No doubt she's probably put
No,
some
I guess Nagato, there's not much. She's very thin
and she put
and small. I don't know.
some spell on her to make her weightless. I don't know. You would have thought she would do that, but I don't think she does. So he's
Nah, she only she observes.
she just deserves.
She she doesn't like to intervene. So yeah, I don't think she'd do that.
No, you're right. Yeah. So basically, um, yeah, basically he rides up the swimming pool knackered. They go swimming. Harry claims, "Ah, smell of chlorine. That's the smell of summer." It's like, sure, sure. And then instantly dives into the pool, which Kyon then
Yep.
instantly will, read the signs that says no diving. She doesn't care.
But of course, Koizumi is super quick to her defense, saying it's like, isn't this nice that she's having fun,
Yeah.
and not ending the world. Isn't this nice
Hmm.
that we don't have to worry because she's having a good time? He's like, I guess whatever.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so she says that, and it's like, yeah, it's not ruining the world. It's just a bit petty. And Kyon's like, well, she never told me about any that this is what's going to happen type thing. Even though she did say bring us some drunks and stuff. It's
Yep.
kind of obvious. I don't know. So she drags Mikuru into the pool. Kyon observes Nagato being distant and just staring blankly into the pool. Hurry then bring somehow as the ball bounces towards them or something, and two kids are like, "Oh, can we get our ball back?" And
Yeah.
then she went and helped them, and then says, these are my lackeys. They'll do everything you'll ask them."
Referring to Kyon and Koizumi.
Yeah,
So
and then they
per guys,
yeah
just constantly being told what to do.
yeah, and then they go and have a game of water polo. Is it? They call it something else.
Uh,
They call it soccer,
pool soccer.
pool soccer or something. Yeah, where Hurry like
Yeah.
butters the ball into like Mikuru's face, I believe.
She does.
Yeah, and Mikuru's made lunch, brought some sandwiches.
Yep.
So it's just laying the foundations, and then they leave the pool and then go to their cafe that they always eat at. Always the same one.
Yep.
And then she's
Yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same one from the episode where they went and looking for aliens, espers, and time travelers.
yeah. So then there and basically she starts making a list and asks Mikuru if she wants anything on this list because she's like, "We only got 2 weeks left, guys, and we got all this stuff to do. We've got to get a part-time job. I don't know, go to was it some festival.
Go to right. So here's a question. I never, I never quite understood exactly what festival. It sounded like one of a number of things: the BAM Festival, the Bang Festival, the Bong Festival, the Bomb Festival.
the,
I don't know which one. It was one of those. It was a festival.
I think it's just what they call it's like a street fair in some park type thing.
Sure.
Mikuru
And
wants to catch goldfish.
yep, that's goldfish scooping is her one wish
Yeah. No,
to add to the list.
yeah, no one else adds to the list.
No.
And then they leave it for the day because they're like, oh, I'll look up, see where one of these band festivals is. Because
Yep. Yeah, Koizumi offers to find out where if there's any festivals going on nearby and to sort that out.
yeah, and then leave for the day. Keon gets a phone call in the morning, wakes him up and says, "Oh, we found one of these festivals. Meet us at the station. We're going to buy what do we call it? Traditional.
I can't remember. I want to say kimonos, but I don't think it's correct.
Yeah, they're essentially
It's traditional Japanese garb.
yeah for the kids.
I should say just before we move on, I totally forgot to say uh, one of my favorite things about this episode so far is that when they're in the pool and you can see Mikuru and Haru play fighting,
Mhm.
you can see you can see Nagato like sitting in a dinghy, a rubber ring, just spinning in circles, and it's amazing. I don't know why, but it made me laugh. Like it's just such a simple visual gag.
Yeah,
It reminded me of like the episode at the one where they go to the beach and like every time they're doing something, she's just reading a book.
yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
it was very much like that.
she was reading the book and sitting alone at the edge of the pool.
Yeah,
Um, uh, yeah. So anyway, they go wake up, go to the shop, they get some
they go to
models.
yeah they get clothes
Yep.
and Kyon is super happy about how Mikuru is dressed.
Mm-hmm. So it's her best costume yet.
Uh, yeah,
It's
as usual, the internal monologue of Kyon talking about Mikuru can get a bit much. Uh,
oh, it's just excited for the girl. He's a
yes,
teenage
constantly.
boy.
Yes, no, you're right. I'm being unduly harsh.
I mean,
But yes.
he's a teenage boy and she's maybe a teenage girl.
Yeah.
Whether that's right or
Yes.
not,
That is true.
I don't know. Since she's a time
Moving
traveler.
on.
Yeah, so they do that.
Yes, true.
Goes to the festival. Harry takes Mikuru to do the fish skipping because it's so having some fish skipping there. Leaving Nagito, Kyo, and Koizumi. And asks Nagito if she wants food. She goes yes, and then she stares at some masks, picks up a mask. It's some Ultraman mask, is it?
It's like I think yeah, I was so happy when she chose a mask to wear. I was like, this is great. I was just hoping to see like some wide shots of like them all having fun and her just stood there wearing a mask. But it never quite happened like that. Instead, she's like wearing it on the side of her head
Yeah, that's it.
for the majority of the time.
Yeah. So then Harry and Mikuru come back. Harry says, "Hey, I got like 13 fish, but I don't have any space to keep them, so I only got this one." And Mikuru was like, "I didn't get any. I can't do it. It's too hard." And I think she got one. Um, then they asked about Nagito. Harry goes, "Oh, you got a mask? Where did you get that?" And Nagito just simply says, "I bought it.
I bought it.
I bought it."
I love the reaction that Harry gives. Is oh, that's it.
That's like,
I bought it.
it's not what I was asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so funny. Like that. And how much does it cost? 800 yen
something like, yeah.
or 500 yen?
I can't
It's one of those two numbers. That'll be 500 yen, please.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So
Then they go to do fireworks.
yeah, and then Keon rides his bike, launching fireworks off his bike, and goes
From the
kamikaze or
back.
something.
It's it's like he's trying to be in an episode of Gundam with like rockets firing from a mech, except it's fireworks firing from a 10-speed bike.
Yeah, don't try that at home, kids. It seems like a bad
They
idea.
do fire a lot of fireworks at each other from their hands. But again, this is another one of these segments that I think is absolutely fantastic, particularly for Nagato, because she is just kind of hunched on the ground, you like intently staring at one of those tabletop fireworks that's the snake. You light the little capsule and it just goes. Pew.
Yeah,
That's her entertainment, and she's totally into that.
yeah. She was just staring at that. Everyone, everyone else was like,
It
oh,
was,
there's
it was good.
sparklers and everything, and yeah. Uh,
It's pretty decent.
yep. And then they get to the point where they basically go, I'm going to go and go bug hunting tomorrow,
Yep.
and they're catching cicadas.
Cicadas.
Cicadas. It's like that
Yep.
elite puzzle that was on the internet. The cicada
Oh yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, where you went through all this trouble and then no one ever knew what happened to them. Secretly taken away and joined the KGB or something.
Good God.
I
Why is life scarier than fiction?
don't know. I don't think it's that. Probably Indominus or something's to go to do with it. Anyway, yeah. Uh, so they go catch some bugs.
Yep.
Um,
It's a competition. It's the SOS cicada collecting competition. Haruhi says that the winner gets to be SOS brigade leader for the day,
yeah, Kyo's like, nope.
and yeah, it's like nope, don't want that, thanks, don't not interested. And then of course, there's a nice montage of them all like trying to catch bugs, and eventually a winner is crowned, which is Haruhi, who gets I think 12 or 13.
Yeah. Nagato finds a Hercules beetle or something.
She does. That Kyon seems super interested in for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not a bug person, so I think Hercules beetle
Like,
might be quite rare.
was it Hercules or Goliath?
No, it's a Hercules. Cause it was like,
Hercules beetle, because I know a Goliath beetle.
cause she's like picking up the beetle, and he goes, "That's not a cicada," and it's like, "Oh,"
And he goes,
and then he like
a
takes a second glance
Hercules
at it, and he
beetle?
goes, "Wait, is that a Hercules bug?" And
Yeah,
it flies away.
y-
Hercules
you're
beetle.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his thing is with that in particular, but
Yeah,
he does not win, so he gets his wish and is not brigade leader for the day.
yeah. Um, and then
I think
there's, they go.
cuts to the next day.
Hey, they go to the next day after that, I think, and do some baseball.
Firework night.
Or they go,
Is it baseball? Oh no, you're right. Sorry, it's baseball first.
or no, I think it might be actually the night they do astronomy, and they're looking at the stars.
Oh, they're looking at Mars.
Yes, and then she talks about Martians, how they're in caves and stuff like that.
Waiting for humans to land so they can go, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, being all peaceful and all. Where
But of course, she gets bored very quickly.
mhm,
So
starts looking for UFOs instead. It's like Keon's also like, what version of Martians do you believe in?
The ones from Mars Attacks, but nice.
Well, one thing they'll go, ha ha ha, we fooled you, ha ha. Um, and then what else? So yeah, then they go baseball hunting. I think they go to the baseball pitch.
They go to the batting cages.
Yeah, where she hits a home run,
Yep.
and then they just get like a montage because
Yeah, this is where it sort of cuts to the remainder of because this is like the whole reason here is that they're trying to spend the last 2 weeks of their summer vacation and do as much as possible. We should have also said probably that Kion's like, I don't mean to like put a damper on this, but have you done your homework yet for the holiday? This was while they were like mucking about with fireworks, I think.
yeah,
And she's like, oh, yeah, that stuff's easy. It only takes like 3 days.
yeah.
But by the way, I've also planned out every day till we go back.
Oh, and she also
So also I've done mine.
yeah, she also said, yeah, I just get that out of the way like in July, get it done, then you can just do what you
Yeah,
want. Which is sound advice for that stuff, to be honest.
it is very sound advice. I never did that, but it's very sound advice.
I don't remember having homework over the summer.
Oh no, I just mean in general.
Oh yeah, yeah, no.
It's like, when could I do it? I've got 2 weeks. The night before.
The night before, yes, I did that.
Or the day of, depending on what time it was due.
It was always the night before for me. Except for when I did a dissertation. That was 3 weeks before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I put some effort into it. I mean, it's not like the whole 6 months
Nice.
that I had to do it, like, but and actually do research.
It's like, shit. I have to write a doctoral thesis and I only have 3 days.
Yeah. 3 weeks, 3 weeks. It's like, oh man.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
needless to say,
It worked though.
I think, yeah, it worked for college, but it didn't work for uni.
Yeah.
Failed that by
Oh well.
a mark. Like, it wasn't like, because you know how in uni, it was, I don't know, you were at our so the work was rated from like 1 to 10 was a pass mark,
Yeah.
and then anything after that was technically a fail mark.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting an 11 on it.
Oh man.
Well, I was shocked that I got an 11 since I only put 3 weeks into it, and other people were putting like months and months of effort into it.
Yeah, but they maybe passed.
Yeah, I think they passed.
My brother, uh he marks for like master's theses and things now.
Yeah.
Like he's a yeah, so he kind of hates and loves doing that because it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But
I suppose was he in physical education or something like that, isn't it?
yeah, it's like it's a sports science
Yeah.
type thing.
I mean, you paid a good penny for that, like. I would have thought.
Yeah, should be all right. I should be all right, I imagine.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that we're on. Yeah, we've done the space thing that we're looking at the stars and stuff like that, and then
Well, on the
I think the day after that's the baseball.
did that. We're on the montage.
Uh, yeah, so we're into like they go to a real fireworks show. They go to karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Karaoke. I noticed the pronunciation is not how I would have said it because I'm wrong. Probably.
Karaoke.
Uh,
That's how I always said.
I would have said karaoke, but
Well, that's.
it's yes, because it's bastardized in Western.
Yeah.
And yeah, they do kind of lots of different bits and pieces. Those are the kind of major beats. And then they sort of meet up in their usual place
Yeah, I think
to go over their list of achievement.
it was just the end of the day. They're just finishing up for the day, and they go there, do the list of the achievements. Like anyone else want to do anything type thing. And at this point, Keon,
Because that's the 30th. They're now on the 30th of August.
yeah, yeah,
So that montage is probably taken up 10 days worth of stuff or something like that.
yeah. Uh, Keon notes that like Harry isn't satisfied with what she's done so far at this point.
No, she doesn't seem to be anyway.
Yeah.
She's hunting. She's like fishing for more things to do. But I think then arrives at like, I guess we did everything we meant to do.
Yep. And states states that she's left the last day free, just in case.
Yeah.
So then it kind of ends, and he goes back home, and leaves the last day to do his homework. That it takes 3 days
He
to
knows
do.
he's not going to do. He knows he's not going to finish it. So
Yeah, so he gets distracted by his sister playing video games and TV. Tries to watch something on TV, but says, "No, that's boring." But starts playing the game. Some puzzle arcade puzzle game.
yeah, it looked like Battle Tetris.
Battle Tetris or Puyo Puyo, something like that.
Yeah, Puyo Puyo. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, he basically sort of whiles away his last day between kind of just dossing about and then eventually doing bits and pieces of work. And then I think it's like maybe quarter to 12, quarter to midnight, and he's like, well, I'm not going to finish this, so I'm just going to go to bed.
Yep. And he goes to bed.
And that's pretty much the end of the episode.
That is the episode. We took half an hour to describe a 25-minute episode.
So, what did you make of this one?
Knowing what I was getting into, in the sense of the whole ish thing with Endless Eight, it wasn't interesting at all. It was like just like, okay, what's happening? And it's like, how's it going to go down here? How are they going to expand this for 8 episodes? And yeah, I don't know. I think it's maybe 5 or 6. It just wasn't. I mean, it's
I'm
fairly interesting.
I'm a 5, I think, for this.
Yeah, it's really interesting in the sense of like, oh, that's cool. They did some stuff, but they didn't really do anything. It was like a non-episode.
Yeah.
But
So I'm gonna give it a 5.
I suppose that's kind of what they're trying to do with it.
I mean, like I say, there were a few bits where I laughed and think bits and pieces I enjoyed about it, but it's sort of very much a nothing episode. It reminded me of uh, like Someday in the Rain a little bit, with very little interesting happening and not really moving the needle particularly far with anything.
That was the last one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's yeah. Well, in the chronological order,
Yeah.
Someday in the Rain is the last episode.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So now, we're on to Endless Eight Part 2.
Yeah. So,
And hello, and welcome to another episode of Who's That Anime?
yeah.
That's how we have to do this. We have to start this the same way. We have to talk about the same shit.
Yeah.
And then at some point, while we confuse ourselves, we go, hang on, I think we've spoken about this episode before.
What are you on about? No, I don't think we have. This deja vu. Yeah. So, shall we just how are we doing this?
I think
Are we just going to open a
okay,
minute?
so I think the best way to do this is to sort of one, let's describe what's happening, and two, let's talk about the differences.
Half an hour left.
I think that's probably the easiest way to do this.
Okay. Oh,
So essentially, episode 2 starts. It's the same. It's the 17th of August again.
yep.
Keon is watching baseball. This time not wearing a shirt.
No, he's topless.
He's topless for some reason. And his phone rings again,
Mhm.
and it's Haruhi. And but his sister says, "Your phone's ringing."
Yeah.
Which I don't believe she said the first time.
No, she said nothing the first time.
Yeah, and but of course, Haruhi's phone conversation is exactly the same.
Oh, I know.
She forgets the same. Is it,
I
well,
think it's more
is it?
abrupt and more. You're not doing anything good. You're doing anything good. Come down, swim shorts. Bye.
Yeah, it's the same content.
Yeah, sync content.
It's just even more rude.
More.
And
Yeah.
then of course she has to phone back because she does forget the bike again.
Yeah.
And then Keon's response is, "No,
Still no. Yeah. But still goes.
still no."
Still goes.
He does.
And
Still goes. They still go to the pool.
they're all wearing different
He gets.
costumes as well.
So I did notice that they are wearing different clothes.
Yeah.
And you do see Kyon absolutely knackered on the ground, trying to catch his breath from having cycled really fast.
Was that
He's like, "You don't want Koizumi to beat you, do you?"
pretty much? Yeah.
And he just like basically bailed out on the ground. And she's like, "Stop, being so tired. Like, come on, we've got stuff to do." And he's like, I'm so tired."
You're a wuss.
Yeah,
It's like what?
yeah. She's like just not having any of it. Not having any of it at all.
Did they go
Uh,
into this point where Koizumi ends up describing it as it's like, so did we all bring bikes? And then Koizumi goes, no, it's just us two.
Yeah, it's just us two. That's right.
Because that's a bit
So
different.
there's a little bit more detail there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Then at the pool, it's very much the same because I think this is where Kyon starts to see a bit of the deja vu. It's around the two kids that Haruhi introduced
Yeah. No, I think
because he's like it's just before that he starts to recognize it, and I think I can't remember why it is he sees it, but
no. I think he gets the deja vu after he gets a phone call. It's like, huh, sounds like I knew that this conversation was happening before.
yeah, that's
And
true.
then he got
But he gets to the point where the kids are introduced to him. And he's like, she's about to something's not right about this. I've seen this before.
was that this episode or was that the next episode? You have watched before.
I think it's this episode because I think what happens is he's about to. I think what's happening is this time he's about to guess something, but rather than the ball hitting
Mikuru.
Mikuru, it hits him.
Maybe I don't remember. I think the problem with this whole get up is I maybe sorry stop kind of watching the episodes in the sense
Yeah. So
it's that. But
yes.
what I will point out is Koizumi when they're having the wee chat about, oh, isn't it great that Terry is this because it means this stuff, and then Koizumi goes, wait a minute, and then he goes, oh no, it's nothing,
Yeah.
it's nothing, uh, type thing.
So yeah, probably we should skip ahead. Basically, the day continues very much the same way.
That's the last episode.
They do the same things as the last episode until I think it's the night. Is it the night after the fireworks? When they've all gone home,
No,
Kyon gets a phone call.
no,
Uh,
it's the
or is it
astronomy night.
the astronomy night?
Like,
Is it?
yeah.
I don't know because I think the phone call happens at the same time every time, and the astronomy night is they're already talking about it. Because there are conversations that happen during the astronomy night that lead me to ask further questions
No, I thought it's
in future episodes.
no, I'm sure it's astronomy night because he starts asking Nagato what baseball, uh, the baseball cages. Though he does stop and try to talk to Nagato
He
on the
does.
first day. for some reason, and he
Yes,
goes,
which
"Why
is
am I
what
talking to her?"
which is what. Well, I suppose either way, what happens is he gets a phone call in the middle of the night, and it's from Mikuru, who's just kind of whimpering,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" and like
Like,
has a panic attack,
yeah,
and then it's like, "Oh hi, it's Koizumi. Hey, wait, what are you doing with Mikuru at this time in the morning?"
yeah,
Really, really accusatory. He's like, "Could you meet us, please?" He's like, "Yeah, okay."
hell yeah, I'll do.
So he goes to meet with Mikuru, Koizumi, and Nagato. They're all there, and this is where where shit gets kind of weird.
Yeah, what we're kind of so Mikuru ends up going, "I can't travel back into the future," and he's like,
Yep,
"What?"
she can't time travel anymore.
Yeah, and then Koizumi kind of steps in. It's like, what she's trying to say is like, I think we're stuck in a time loop. Stuck in a
Yep.
time loop. He only did that, he did that like another episode where he repeats it 3 times.
Yeah.
That's a joke, I
Well,
think.
yeah, because he's he's had a suspicion, as you said at the pool, where there's like something doesn't seem right here. This seems like deja vu,
Yeah,
and he's had suspicions for a while. And then Mikuru confirmed that by saying that she wasn't able to travel into the future because there's no future outside of this loop.
yeah. And then Mikuru tries to go, I think I can explain. And then goes, um, put it,
The worst explanation ever.
yeah. I tried to classified, contact the future via classified, and did this classified, and I
Yeah.
saw all this classified. Uh,
It's like trying to read a redacted document where every second word is redacted.
yeah, she tries to explain it, but like I think I can explain it, but she can't because she got it, she can't tell.
She Everything's fucking
Classified,
classified all the time.
yeah, classified. And then Keon makes this comment
Ugh.
like, "Well, is it all classified because you're on TV? Because you can't see it on TV? Like a fourth
Uh,
wall break, maybe."
oh, it's very weird.
Uh,
And then I suppose it comes down to the idea. It's like, well, what's causing it? And it's like, well, it's Haruhi.
yeah, the base is it's not. Well, I can understand it. We've got a time traveler. No, no, it's not her. It's Haruki.
Yep. No,
She's
no,
the one in summer
it's
holiday where
Haruhi.
she's essentially
She's not satisfied.
not satisfied. And then they go and basically state there's only one person in the party that knows it doesn't get suffer from like the memory
Yeah.
loss at the as they reset the time, and it's
The
not
data entity.
taken into Nagato.
So this is right. I will say, at this point, I was like, oh great, fine. We're gonna do like Groundhog Day, sure, whatever, or Groundhog Fortnight.
Mhm.
Um, but the bit I enjoyed about this, because I think it genuinely was actually quite a good reveal. I think because it's quite shocking, is when Kyon says, "How many times have we done this?"
Mhm.
And like, there's a delay in the response to that.
Mhm.
There's a delay, and how many did you think it was going to be? Because I had it in my head that it's like, oh, it's going to be like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 times. Like
Yeah,
you're going to have done this a few times,
yeah.
and I could.
I wasn't too sure. I was maybe thinking that they're doing maybe it was like eight times in total. It's endless eight.
Yeah, endless eight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like that would have made sense.
but no.
But the answer, and I can remember it because I'm still shocked by it, was 14,400 or 15,498 times.
Yeah, in this episode, yeah.
And it's like that is quite shocking
Yeah,
because as Kyon mentions, that is nearly 600 years of time,
yeah, yeah. And Nagato's done all that on
which
himself.
yeah. And he's like, why didn't you say anything or do anything? And this is where we make the joke is that she just observes.
Yeah. Should we also mention that she gets a different mask in this version?
She does get a different mask, and Kyon offers to pay, and she declines.
Yep. They all wear different kimonos. Basically,
They do,
all
yep.
the costumes throughout the. It's like a weird way of doing it. It's like they've reanimated the entire episode again because they had to redraw them
But
and done different things
but
in
they
it.
certainly have to redo the clothing and stuff like that. And I'm sure there was a way that they could have made that they could have animated to do that
Well, there is. I mean, this.
more cheaply than have to reanimate the entire scene every time or whatever. But uh, I suppose the thing that's more interesting about it than anything is it would be like doing episodes like this to me. I immediately kind of jump to this is a cost saving measure. Like
No.
that's what this is, and but it's not. There's a meticulousness to this because it's not like they are because it's even weirder than that. They're not repeating things from the same viewpoints, or they're not like they're changing things that are innocuous to just think about, but not innocuous in terms of actually drawing it or writing it or what angle it's going to be viewed from. There's so many different subtleties right the way through this that are not the same
Yeah.
that this is it's almost as if actually this is far more complicated than doing it the cheap way.
Yeah. This is a lot of budget in this. I mean, then like I say, different costumes they're wearing all the way through it. Uh, different masks that Nigel gets. Um,
Yep.
different yeah, different ways. The dialogue's slightly different.
Yep.
Slightly.
That was another thing. It was like these voice actors are still having to do different lines
Oh yeah.
and deliver them in different
I
ways.
do believe that they there was a complaint at the time. Even the voice actors were complaining about it.
Yeah, like and I can get it. I think that the bit for me is that I suppose that's kind of maybe spoiled to me at this point is it's clear to me that because this is so infamous that I don't think the payoff is going to be worth the wait.
Well, I
Which
don't think the payoff was worth the
I
wait
think
back
is a
then.
shame. Yeah, I think, but I think that's it exactly. Like, is I think that's a shame because I think if you look at this from the lens of like ambition, it's quite ambitious.
Yeah.
Like it's because, like I say, it's like you're doing something to me that you might say is like, well, the only way we could get to do a second season is if we kept the budget low. So in order to keep the budget low, we decided to have like this story that allowed us to do this, which meant saving on frames and saving on voice acting and stuff like that. But it's not like that.
Oh.
This is this is meticulous. It's almost like and it's almost like in a video game where you have multiple branching paths where you might view something from another character's perspective or another camera angle, or somebody might say something subtly different and cause a different reaction, or you choose to do a different activity in a different way, or you make a like you say, he's like you buy a different mask, you wear different clothes. It's
Yeah.
like these are things that are mundane. In a situation where you're just making that choice, but to make that choice and then have to follow through that for an entire episode of an animation, and then reset that again and go back,
Yeah.
I think is it's a really weird and bold choice that I'm sad doesn't it like didn't or doesn't seem to have captured everyone's imagination in that way because as much as I didn't think the first episode was all that great, I think the fact that they did that and then went into the reveal of the time loop at the start of the second episode
Well,
was perfect.
yeah, it's basically they started the second episode the exact same way. If that's your
Yep.
on about the real, it wasn't really a real. It's like, what? Didn't this happen last episode?
Well, I think that's the beauty of it is that it's not a straight up here's the information. It's remember this
Yeah.
because it's the same way that the characters are experiencing it. It's like I'm doing a thing. I'm sure I've done this before, but things seem different, so maybe not.
Yeah. So
Like maybe maybe it's not the same.
so going with yes, then he says, "Oh, so go back to what we're talking to Nagito about. How many times it's happened?" He then asks, like, exact
Yeah.
same thing happens every time, and she goes, "No, no." So like, for
Yep.
we didn't do the festival for the first 2,000 or something, and they hadn't done something else
Yep.
for the last 9,000, and since 9,000 times, or
We couldn't do karaoke this time, or we did this, 3,000 times in between,
yeah,
where this wasn't a thing. And again, I think that's even more fun. Like that as a concept is pretty interesting because I think the beauty of that to me, well, one of the things they make sure, or that Koizumi mentions, is like Haruhi is not aware of this. She doesn't know she's doing this. It's just happening.
it's just a subconscious thing. Yeah,
So
as always.
yeah, so to me, there's an interesting conversation there about her subconscious, while not remembering anything,
Hmm.
is still striving for improvement,
Yeah,
or it like but because it's not Yuki, it's not Nagato that's doing this, because she's choosing deliberately not to engage with it because she's observing it,
yeah,
so she's not making change. And Koizumi and Kyon and Mikuru only seem to realize partway through sometimes that things are happening.
partway through. Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah. So
so
what's it? Yeah. So me, Hooray isn't doing it. There's progression through the timeline because this, as stated, there's been like 2,000 times that you haven't done certain things, 9,000 times, and it's like, all right, you can stop, type thing.
yep,
And then it ends at that point. They all go back home, and they go to the baseball game, and then he talks to Naito, who then says, "So Naito, you know you've experienced this for like the last X amount of times. Why have you not told us?" And she just
yeah,
goes, I'm just observing it," type thing. I'm an observer,
yep,
just like a watcher from the Marvel universe. Just
yeah.
goes,
She's just not really there to do anything about it.
yeah, unless she needs to, type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But she hasn't needed to.
So yeah, and the rest of the episode kind of goes in that way, where we're now in this situation where we're repeating the things of the first episode, but there's a little bit of extra knowledge there from the character's perspective, that they know this is a repetition.
Yeah, uh, um, there's a point in it where Kyon kind notices Hurry. Is it? Is it in this episode? Or it's like the next two, where she does something, and he goes, "Oh," type thing, and notices her over Mikuru. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, there's definitely a point in it might be the next ones where he notices her,
Yeah,
and then so we end up and go back going through all the things, basically doing our montage of it all, and they end up at the cafe where
yep,
she's going, right, August the 30th. You got anything else that you guys want to do, type thing? Because we've done everything on the list. They're like, no, we're cool. And then Keelan goes, wait, no, I need to kind of stop you walking out those doors, or we're going to repeat ourselves again.
yep.
And then kind of like falls over or something.
I, it's almost like, I think it's like this supposed to be sort of like a realization of like he doesn't know how to stop it, and it just kind of soft cuts to him at home
Yeah, it goes,
pretty much
uh,
after that.
yeah, he ends up going at home and he says, "That's no point in me doing this homework because we're just going to repeat this now." And
Yep.
goes to bed.
But yeah, I think like the moment when Harry's leaving. There's like this. It feels like I think he feels something.
Yeah,
He's like, this is like either it's he feels it like this is the last chance for me to do something about it, and I feel, but that may change in terms of like what that moment is. But I feel like it's supposed to feel a little bit like an inflection point. It's like here's a point where there's room for change
yeah,
that can make things different.
yeah. Like do something,
Yeah,
and then yeah.
but as you say, he goes to sleep, and
Oh, yeah. He
and
does.
then we'll get to pick that up.
Yeah, he does a cafe. Goes home next day and goes, "Ah, there's no point doing this. Going to repeat this." And then in the episode, each episode ends pretty much in the same frame.
Same way. So I will say, while we're at the end of the episode, I'd forgotten to mention. What's your thoughts on the theme tune for season two?
Thoughts on it? Oh yeah, you were going to talk about this. I don't know, man. It's not hasn't hit home. It's not Ghost Stories level.
It's not Ghost Stories, which I for some reason can't get rid of, but I think it's much better.
Better than the first season.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. I got to say I haven't really listened to it as much.
No, it's good. It's much better. it's it's watchable now. Uh,
Yeah, it's
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
it's catchier.
Yeah.
Do do do
So,
do.
how do you rate episode two, part two then?
I suppose it's getting interesting what's happening in it. So I'm gonna maybe move it to a 6. Can't remember
Okay.
what the
I'm gonna go for a 7.
oh he's liking it.
Oh, well, I like I was saying is I think that for me, I think there's a lot of stuff that's maybe interesting that's not the intention of the episode to be interesting. I think there's maybe more interest at heart of the like the effort they went to do a thing
Oh yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Like there's definitely some of that, and I also like I say I like the kind of soft reveal that it was just like it's like yeah, it's deja vu, right? It's like you're definitely not just watching the same episode again,
Yeah,
or are you? It's like
no.
looks like I am.
Oh,
So with like minute differences.
like I say, I think
Um,
they go into a bit more detail, explaining things. The bug catching thing, I think she doesn't claim that she wants to eat them.
that's right.
And he doesn't get so disappointed that they're freeing him again as he did in the first episode.
Yeah,
There's minute
I don't know.
differences in it.
It's yeah, it's subtlety, and but I think that's the thing. Like I say, that as I was saying before, is like it's the effort to required to impart these subtleties to the person watching, because they're not trivial things to draw or to voice act. Like it's yes, they're easy to do because it's just standard stuff, but it's more stuff
Yeah,
in a way. And it is just a little bit like doing another episode, I guess. But to me, it's just that effort of making sure that it's the same enough, but also different enough
wow.
that there's like a kind of tickle at the back of your head, kind of going, it's like, is this the same this time? This was different. No, it's the same.
There's a lot of differences in it, yeah. Um, certainly,
Some of them are far less noticeable, though.
maybe in this one. This one's, I think it's mainly maybe the costumes that were different
It was him with his shirt off
at the start.
that clicked for me immediately because I remember, like, I was just like, that's not how this went. It's like, because I think I would have remembered that, like that, because it's odd for the character not to have a shirt on. So
Yeah.
I would have remembered that from before.
Yeah. And then they went into a bit more description about what they're doing. Oh, I forgot about the whole shopping thing. Because they do the shop
Oh,
and
fuck. That's right.
and
The
the and they
frogs.
get the payment for the frog costume, which you see in the last episode. That's when they wear it.
Yeah. That's right. I do like that frog costume.
Kappa.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Basically, it's Kappa.
Yeah.
I like that. It's pretty good. Okay, so we'll be back again to talk about part 3 and 4 later.
Mhm.
It's going to get a bit confusing trying to remember which bit happened when and why, because they're all the same and also not.
It's not already confusing.
But we will do our best. Yep. If you are listening to this, hopefully at some point we'll be putting together a video component for these podcasts as well, that we'll have on a YouTube channel. We will share that as soon as we have access to our channel and everything up and running. For podcast, you can listen to us if you're not already listening to us or telling people about where to find us. You can find us at anchor.fm. There's a bunch of links there to different places we can be listened to, but those include Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Overcast, a number of different places. Also, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Who's That Anime. We post just about new episodes, occasional memes, things like that. And that's kind of the gist of the Who's That Anime stuff. If you like to watch video games, Colin has a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/couchfuel, and an accompanying YouTube channel, which can be searched for. It's just Couchfuel. You play through some games. There's a decent amount of a library of videos on YouTube at this point, I believe.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a good few hundred.
Yeah. And sometimes I also play video games online at twitch.tv/HailPayment. I too have an accompanying YouTube channel where I put the archive from that. I usually play horror games when I get a chance, but that's pretty much everything.
Yeah. No, that's it. This has been Who's That Anime? Thanks for listening.
See you later.
Yeah. I suppose that's it. Ding ding.
Bye, folks.
See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
It was the day after Obon, smack dab in the middle of summer. Nothing special, just an ordinary day. The game on TV was between schools from another town. I had nothing to do with either school, but because I tend to sympathize with underdogs, I found myself rooting for the losing team. And that's right about the time my cell phone started ringing. Haruhi.
Hey, you're free, right? Good, then meet us at 2 o'clock in front of the station.
But And just like that, she hangs up. How does she know I'm not doing anything today? I mean, I could be. Yeah, I know, I'm not doing anything, but still. What?
I forgot to tell you something. Bring your swim trunks and your bike, too. Oh, and money. Bring money. That's it. Over and out.
No. What was that all about?
Kashima is rounding third on his way home. There's Suzuki on the mound. He is not having a good day. You gotta feel bad for that guy.
Oh, that is tragic. He looks like he got the wind totally taken out of him.
Even the fans are quiet. They're not even booing Suzuki anymore. So with that, the score is now 8-0. Kumamoto's really got their work cut out for them.
Something's wrong. That's what it felt like anyway. The game on TV was between schools from another town. I had nothing to do with either school, but because I tend to sympathize with underdogs, I found myself rooting for the losing team. And it was right about then that I suddenly got the feeling Haruhi was going to call. And what does she want?
Your phone's ringing, Sean.
I know.
Hey, you're free, right? Good. Meet us at 2 o'clock in front of the station. Don't be late.
They still have hopes for the kid. And,
I didn't even have a chance to say anything.
Over till it's over.
What?
I forgot to tell you to bring your swim trunks and some money, too. Oh, wait, and your bike. Definitely bring your bike. That's it. Over and out.
No. That was weird. It was like I knew what Haruhi was gonna say before she said it. Yeah, no. Actually, it felt like we had the exact same conversation before. Like deja vu or something.
Here's the windup. It's out of there! Home run! What a shot! That makes it 8 for
Summer's almost over, isn't it?
The scores are pretty far apart, but if Kumamoto can hold them, they got a chance. The bleachers behind third are going nuts out there. Suzuki on the mound.
Something's wrong. That's what it felt like, anyway. I didn't care about the baseball game on TV because it was between some other schools. For some reason, I got into it anyway and started rooting for the losing team. And that's when I got the feeling Haruhi was gonna call. What does she want?
Your phone's ringing, Hyun.
I know, you don't have to tell me.
Hey, you're free, right? Good. Meet us at 2 o'clock in front of the station. And don't be late.
I didn't have a chance to say anything. Now what?
I forgot to tell you. Make sure to bring your swim trunks and some money, too. Oh, wait, and your bike. Definitely bring your bike. That's it. Over and out.
Well, that was weird. It was like I knew what Haruhi was gonna say before she even said anything. Yeah, no. Actually, it felt like we'd had that exact same conversation before. Like deja vu or something. Summer's almost over.